FIFA just made the World Cup bigger than it has ever been in history. 48 teams, 104 matches, 3 countries hosting at the same time. Whether you think that is exciting or completely unnecessary, it is happening. And most people have no idea what actually changed. Let's fix that in 5 minutes. For 28 years, the World Cup had 32 teams, 8 groups of 4. Simple, clean, every match mattered. Then FIFA looked at that format, looked at the money and said, we can do more. So in 2026, they added 16 more teams. That is a 50% increase. Just like that. Here is where it gets interesting. FIFA's original plan was 16 groups of 3 teams each. Only 2 teams per group. 1 team goes home after 2 games. That format got scrapped almost immediately because smart people pointed out something obvious. If 2 teams in a 3-team group both know that a draw sends them both through, they will play for a draw. They will pass it around, waste time, and eliminate the 3rd team without even trying. FIFA calls that collusion. Everyone else calls it common sense. So they changed it. 12 groups of 4 teams. Top 2 from each group advance automatically. Then the 8 best 3rd place teams also advance. That gives you 32 teams going into the knockout round. In theory, this solves the collusion problem. In practice, it creates a new one. A team can now finish 3rd in their group and still qualify. Let that sink in. You can lose 2 games and still be in the World Cup. The people who hate this format will tell you it kills jeopardy, and they are not entirely wrong. When 32 out of 48 teams make it to the knockouts, the group stage stops feeling dangerous for the big nations. Argentina could lose twice and still advance. France could have a terrible week and still be fine. You know, the type of group stage where every point is life or death. That tension is now mostly reserved for the smaller teams. But here is the other side of that argument. Nobody was watching Cameroon versus Serbia for the football philosophy. They were watching because it was the World Cup. The badge, the anthem, the occasion. 48 teams means countries like Morocco, Ecuador, Senegal, and others who have never had consistent access to this stage now get more chances. That is not nothing. The other big change is tiebreakers. This sounds boring. It is actually the kind of thing that will start arguments in living rooms across the world. If 2 teams finish level on points, the first tiebreaker is now head-to-head result, not goal difference. This is completely different from what fans are used to. In the old World Cup, if you drew your group and were tied on points, your goal difference decided it. Now, did you beat that specific team? That match becomes the most important thing. Small details in group stage games will now have enormous consequences that fans will not see coming until it is too late. Then there is the sheer size of this thing. 104 matches across 3 countries. 64 matches was already a lot. 104 is a different event entirely. Players will travel further. Fixtures will be spread across more time zones. The final is on July the 19th. This tournament runs for 39 days. For context, the entire 2022 World Cup in Qatar lasted 29 days. This is 10 days longer. That is not a small difference for players, staff, or the people watching every single game. The loudest criticism, though, is not really about format at all. It is about motivation. FIFA added 16 teams, and the cynical explanation is that more teams means more confederations happy, more slots to distribute, more broadcasters paying, more sponsors involved, and more revenue for FIFA. The official explanation is inclusion and football development. Both can be true at the same time, which is what makes this genuinely complicated. Here is what we actually know. The World Cup expanded from 24 to 32 teams in 1998. Everyone said that was too many. Brazil still won it. France still won it. The football was still brilliant. The tournament survived the expansion and became the biggest it had ever been. Whether 48 does the same thing, nobody actually knows yet. We are finding out right now. What we do know is this. More teams, more matches, more countries, more chaos in the tiebreakers. And a group stage where finishing 3rd might be enough to change your entire nation's footballing history. FIFA called it progress. Critics called it greed. The truth, as usual, is somewhere in the middle, and slightly more entertaining than either side wants to admit. If you want to understand every other controversial decision FIFA makes, subscribe. There are a lot more of them coming over the next 5 weeks. You are welcome.